My name is Bill Chang. I'm an assistant professor within the Division of Pediatric Hematology and Oncology at Doernbecher Children's Hospital at OHSU. My role within the division is as a physician scientist, which states that I spend 80% of my time doing basic science research and 20% of my time taking care of patients. So I originally got involved many years ago with the residents in the Department of Pediatrics, where they would make a team together to shave their heads to raise money for St. Baldrick's. At the time I was a fellow, and having patients who were really excited about me shaving my head was the way I really got started. And then a few years later, as a young faculty member here, I applied for one of their career development grants and received it a couple of years ago. So currently I'm one of the St. Baldrick scholars. In order to do the research, I need protected time so that I can spend the time in the lab. And what a career development grant or other grants from St. Baldrick's can do is provide the funds so that I can continue to stay in the lab and do the research that I'm doing right now. If you break it down to the fundamentals in all cancer and the leukemias that I research, leukemia itself is a cell that's growing out of control. What we try and do is take the samples from the patients that have the leukemia and look at the leukemia cells themselves and understand what are the mechanisms that make these cells grow out of control. And when we find the mechanisms, we can actually use either small molecule inhibitors or other targeted therapies that actually inhibit those mechanisms so that those cells specifically stop growing. And so far we've found at least several interesting targets that we hope to develop into new therapies so that we can block those signaling mechanisms and inhibit those cells from growing. Times are tough everywhere, and the hard part is that most of the funding that you think about in research is through the federal government, through the National Institutes of Health. But with the federal budget as it is, they keep having to cut their spending and cut their funds for research. And as that occurs, the help of private foundations is becoming more fundamental to continue to do the research that is going on in research labs throughout the country. Without St. Baldrick's funding for me personally, I would not be able to be in the lab currently doing the research that I'm doing. It's amazing that when you shave your head, kids who have gone bald because of the chemotherapy that we've given them really relate to you all of a sudden and really take it that extra step of thinking, you guys really are doing something special by taking that time to shave your head, to make yourself look bald, to really say, hey, I want to support you and I want to help raise the money that will someday make it so that kids like you don't ever have to go bald.